Hi, I'm David from Porthos Games. The Big Lockdown is a card game for 2 to 4 players. It's currently funding over on Kickstarter, and it's themed around the experiences that people have had during lockdown. In other videos I've given you an overview of the game and some of the core mechanics. In this video I wanted to go over the different types of cards we had, some of the jokes that we've included, and some of the strategies you can use with these cards to help you win. When you're playing the Big Lockdown, you're going to come across 3 different card types. There are stock-up cards, there are impact cards, and there are effect cards. Let me talk about stock-up cards first, because these tie in to the aim of the game. The aim of the game is to build the biggest stockpile of supplies. The way that you get supplies is by playing a stock-up card. There are more stock-up cards in the outdoors deck than the indoors deck, so if you're outdoors more often, you'll find it easier to build your stockpile of supplies, but at a risk of infection and being eliminated from the game. Each stock-up card has written instructions telling you how many supplies you're allowed to draw when you play that card. So if you have buy 3 supplies, you play that card and you can draw 3 supplies from the supplies deck. There are plenty of occasions in the game where you find that you're running low on supplies, or you might be at risk of infection if you draw from one of the decks. And having cards that you can play that do you benefit at that stage are strategically much more advantageous. So we suggest holding on to stock-up cards until you really need to play them. So stock-up cards are great. You can keep them in your hand as long as you like, and playing them allows you to collect supplies. Impact cards are the exact opposite. They have to be played immediately. As soon as you draw them, you have to play them and follow through the instructions on the card, and they tend to remove cards from your stockpile. When you're playing the game, you will also find there are more impact cards in the indoors deck than the outdoors deck, and this is another reason why staying indoors for the whole game, although you're safer from infection, could also be problematic if you want to win. Each impact card is themed around a different experience that people might have had during lockdown. So, Dress to Impress causes you to lose toilet paper because you're having to get creative to find new ways to keep yourself entertained when you're on Zoom with people. Caught Red-Handed causes you to lose your infection prevention as you're punished for trying to stockpile hand sanitizer at your local shop. The infection card is also an impact card, simply because you have to deal with it immediately, there and then, and dealing with it is all part of one action on your turn. With an infection card, if you have infection prevention, you're going to be okay. If not, you draw the next card to be tested as to whether you've caught the infection or not. If you have and it tests positive, you're out of the game, you're eliminated. But if you haven't and it tests negative, then you can continue playing and keep the card you've just picked up. The final type of card is an effect card, and these allow you to interact with other players, and they should definitely be kept and stored in your hand until you think it's the most valuable time or the most strategic time to play that card. You can only store 8 cards in your hands, and these are going to be made up of stock-up or effect cards. So, given that there's a limit, you need to choose carefully which cards to hang on to and which cards to play early. In another video, I'll go into more detail about the effect cards that allow you to steal from your opponents or mess with their strategies, and in another video I'll talk about how you can use effect cards to defend yourself.